You have arrived to the Plunge Into Prosperity podcast, where sacred wisdom meets regenerative wealth. I'm your host, Brandi Kolosky of Sacral Capital. Now let's plunge in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Plunge Into Prosperity. This is episode 14. I'm your host, Brandi Kolosky, founder and general partner of Sacral Capital, Sacral Fund, and managing partner of Sacral Sisters, our special SPV for those ladies out there. I am so grateful you are here with me today. And today I'm sitting down with someone who has spent 3 decades proving one thing. Being found is not an accident. It is a strategy, and she has dedicated her career to building that strategy for the people who need it most. Heather McElrath is the founder and CEO of Sandbox Communications. Just love that name. A digital marketing and communications firm based in Chantilly, Virginia, where she helps small businesses show up on Google, on AI platforms, and in the hearts and minds of the customers they were built to serve. She's a fractional CMO, 30-year communications veteran, an adjunct PR professor, and someone who has worked across global, banking, national nonprofits, fintech, journalism, and everything in between. Heather, I want to start the way I always start. For those who are new here, tell them why should they continue to listen to this particular episode with you of Plunge Into Prosperity?
Freedom. For me, prosperity is freedom. I think the word always assumes money. And yes, you need some money to be free, but you also need to know who you are and what is
Yeah.
important to you. And sometimes it doesn't mean you have to have a lot. You just have to have vision and confidence and belief in yourself.
That's so beautiful. That's exactly why you're here. So let's go deeper. Now let's set that tone for why we are here. I want to ask the question that anchors every conversation on this show. Everybody knows I ask it every time because that is the core. Because prosperity looks and feels different for everyone. What does your version of prosperity look like? What does it mean to you? You kind of just answered it, but give it some more color and maybe an experience. And then when did you plunge into that? What was the moment, the gut decision, that bold move where everything shifted, you stepped fully into that vision?
So, I want to be honest. I don't know that I think I'm still stepping into that vision. So, I want it's never black and then white or, yes and then no. It's a journey. I kind of sort of hate that phrase. It's a journey, but it's true. But at any rate, COVID, like most of us actually, is kind of what started this path for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a really great job. I loved my coworkers. It was really safe and secure. And I actually took the job because that's what I wanted. I wanted security. I wanted to retire. I wanted to stop moving. For those who don't know, I have about 40 plus moves under my belt. So I've been a lot of places. So stability for me was a big deal. But COVID happened and shook everything up, right? And I looked around and I went, I'm not ready to stop yet. I may not be young like some of us in the room. And I mean that as a compliment. You're so successful and so beautiful at such a young, wonderful age.
I'll be 41 in June
You're
21st.
young. But, I was like, okay, I want to try something. And I'd always been told if I didn't work for a PR agency, I'd never be successful because I was in PR and journalism. So I gave it a shot. And for the first time in my career, it just didn't fit. It wasn't the right move for me. And so I was having interviews, nothing was working. And I was like, you know what? I'm sure I'll get something. Lo and behold, I didn't. So I had to start Sandbox Communications because I had to pay my mortgage. I had to keep, have a place to live, food to eat, all those grand things. And for the next 2.5 years, it was really survival mode. It really was just staying ahead. And then about 6 months to a year ago, I went, wait a minute, I have a business. I'm
Yeah.
actually loving working with my clients. Because they love what they do and they love their clients. And I want more than anything for them to be successful. And so for me, it's just been about how do I help others? How do I make it possible for them to do what they want? I also feel this is silly, but it's very much what I feel. My mission is their mission. Like, how do I,
Yes.
that's what I want for them.
Yeah.
And so for me, being able to work with small businesses has just been wonderful because I've always loved the underdog. I don't know what it is. I
Yeah.
always dog, and I feel like small businesses are the underdogs of business because they don't know what they don't know. They don't have the access that big corporations do. And so that's really where my heart and passion lies. Sorry that took so long, but
No, this platform is for you right now. I owned a marketing agency too. We talked about that and PR and social media And I had to also just take whatever clients I could at that time, and some of them had PTSD when they would come to me from having bad experiences with previous agencies. I'm sure you get that, and not delivering. And so when I always like to step up, over deliver, under promise,
Yep.
and I would create the most bad presentations. And I would go because I just really wanted them to feel secure in their process and in their 90-day plan. And I would just be like, this is what we're doing this week. This is what I'm going to deliver. This is what you're going to deliver so that we can deliver together. And they were just always so impressed. I mean, one woman I remember, she was like, "How did you do this in 90 days? You did say that you were going to turn this around in 90 days and you did." And we were able to move her Instagram followers from like 20,000 of them on in one day shot to her website launch. So, yeah, it was an anonymous news portal site, and so it's just those moments that and you celebrate together, and it's just so lovely. And you also have one of those careers that does not move in a straight
Nope.
line. And me either. And I find that most fascinating because I feel like it allows you to build more character, but also have more perspective of
Yes.
not just the different industries, anybody can say that, but of the different types of humans that are in those, businesses as well. Journalism, you did global banking, fintech, nonprofits, running something entirely on your own now, a Sandbox. So walk me through that arc. What were you chasing at each turn? And what were you leaving behind?
Yeah, it is really interesting. So, I kind of love this story and I kind of think it's funny. So, when I turned 14, that was my 14th move. And we were signing me up for eighth grade and high school because I was enrolled in eighth grade for 22 days. Uh, And my father looked at me and said, "So, what do you want to do with your life?" And I was like, "I'm 14. I got no clue. What are you talking about?" But my answer was, "I want to do advertising," because I was a teenager. I watched television. That's all I'd
Yeah.
seemed to do. So I was like, all right, I'll go into advertising, which got me into the yearbook in high school, then the newspaper in college, which is where I studied journalism. Did journalism for a couple of years. I'm like, I want my weekends back. I want, life. Went back, got an MBA, got into PR, and I loved it, which I
Oh,
also
yes.
find hysterical because, of course, as a journalism student, I was always taught PR people are the most awful, evil, horrible people
I
ever.
know. Yeah, yeah. Pitch, pitch, pitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's a symbiotic relationship. And
It is.
I always loved it because it always felt like a win-win. I was helping a journalist find the story that they
Yeah.
need, and I was matching it with a client, and that's what I always thought was fun. So, and then from there, I just kept wanting to grow, wanting to learn, wanting to do more. And that, I think, for me, it's all about learning and education and how do I grow? And you know, I do like when I look back, I'm very grateful for so much.
Hmm.
But it is interesting that sometimes I also beat myself up because I didn't do that straight line. I didn't do X, Y, and Z. But it's interesting now that I'm teaching, I love my background because I can talk to the students about anything
Yes.
or share when I was at a farm show for an agricultural bank, or when I was in New York City doing stuff for fintech, or when I lived in California and going back to school, or when I lived in Florida and worked at the journal, in the newspaper. There's so many different stories. It's kind of eye-opening, I hope, for the
Yeah.
students to
Well,
see.
Elon Musk would think he would hire you because you have so much experience. He prefers that, and look at him. He's now about to be a trillionaire. So I think you're onto the right track.
Alright, I like that. I hadn't thought about that perspective, so that's a fabulous one. Thank you so much.
Yep, exactly. He doesn't hire based off of degree or one linear.
Well, and that's something I don't totally believe in.
You had to shoot your rocket off, and it blew up a few times.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
oh well.
Yeah, and, you know, degrees may open doors, but they don't keep you there. It's
No.
really what you know and what you learn, and learning doesn't happen only in the classroom.
No, it does not. No, it
No.
does not. And so, was there a version of yourself earlier in your career that you had to like let go of? Do you remember a little bit
Yeah.
of that before you built Sandbox? Because, I know every time I've moved into, I would own my own company, but then I would go work in at another company to gain a more hands-on experience or direct experience, and then I would move into owning my own company again. And so had to grow and die in those death rebirth situations as well. Yeah, please share.
It it was so hard. I mean, I literally, essentially at 14 to early 20s, that's all I wanted to be was a journalist. That's all I wanted. And when I decided that that wasn't the right place for me, I'm like, was lost, completely lost.
Mhm.
So it really did rebuild, and that took some years. And then I think Sandbox obviously also was, a big transition because I'm the only one. Like, right now I do have a couple part-time
Yeah.
support, but
Yeah.
for the most part, everything is on my shoulders, whether we're bringing new clients in or we're delivering for our current clients. So, I always expected to, just go up a ladder and never own my own business. I never thought that that was me, but that word freedom is really
Mm.
amazing. And I do love that my parents came into town yesterday and I got to spend some time with them, and that's
Yeah.
not necessarily something you could do in corporate America, 9 to 5, that's what you have to do.
Mhm.
So I
That's
cherish the
beautiful.
freedom. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you named your company Sandbox. You and I talked about this because for the techies out there, Sandbox is where you can have your APIs or things that you connect with others. But then Sandbox is also that creative playtime area, and the sandbox just sounds cute and fun, when you can't go to the beach, they created the sandbox, so we could create our little dreams of, sand castles and so forth. And it carries a lot, I think it says about you, because you're also playful and creative and dreamy. So please tell us, where that came from.
Exactly where you said, but one other slight little teaser or what have you is
Hmm.
that I don't like shoes. I like flip-flops. I
That's
I
yeah.
wanted a company where flip-flops could be part of the, attire and totally appropriate with the name, so
I love that. I love that so much. I like being barefoot and slides as well, especially
yeah,
living in Puerto Rico.
I can imagine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I looked at those, the tech guys who always seem to be in their hoodie or something like that,
Yes.
and
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, got it.
that's
I
where
love that.
you're like, "I'm gonna make a company."
You're a sandbox bro.
Yeah,
That makes
that was I was like, I just I do think there's some people that are probably turned off by it, but then again, those aren't the people I want in my sandbox.
No, you wanna align for sure.
Exactly. And this weekend, I got to spend some time with a girlfriend of mine, and she and I were talking about new ideas for the company, which was totally fun. But one of the things I loved is that we came up and we're going to do this on a T-shirt, meaning I have to do it still.
Okay, yeah.
Only love in the sandbox, and that
Oh my gosh.
I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. So
You have to send. I wanna buy one.
I will send you one as soon as I make them. Yeah,
Yes.
I thought that was perfect and very neat. Very
Yeah,
neat.
very
Yeah,
much so.
yeah,
Oh, love that. I can't wait I like rocking, shirts or clothes of friends
yeah.
or family of their businesses, but also if it has, like, a fun meaning for sure.
Yep, yep,
Your current model sits right at the intersection of human strategy, and you're utilizing AI. Everyone is. I know I am.
yeah, yep,
And you are actually teaching this to your business owners right now.
yep.
What do most of these small business owners get wrong about AI, and what becomes possible when they finally start getting it right?
Well, this may be too specific, but
No.
for small businesses especially, their Google business profile is one of the main things that they can do. It is amazing how an active profile can help you show up in search and AI. And one of the things I'm trying really hard to educate them that it's not that they have to change everything. It's not that they have to now compete with the big guys or be tech savvy. I just want them aware because the way search has changed, the way people are looking for businesses, all of that is changing. We're no longer going to Google. We're going to AI and saying, "Hey, who's the best person to fix my toilet? I live here. This is what happened. How, help?" We're just basically dumping into AI and wanting help. And so for me, we're at this incredible intersection where the robots and the humans, robots, the search engines, which is what I call them, the
Yeah.
robots and the humans really are coming together for one main goal. How do we help our clients better? The robots want stuff to show up that is going to help the searcher. We want stuff that's going to help our clients. And so for me, we're at this incredible intersection that's just so wonderful. And so I guess that's kind of how I shape or share it with my clients is it's I want you to help your clients more. That's all I want. Help your clients more. And
Yeah.
that will teach the robots what you do and how you do it and why
Yeah.
you're an important part of our world.
Yeah. What platform are you specifying with them, or educating them on?
I typically focus on Chat, Claude, and Gemini. Those are the
Yeah.
three that yeah.
Mhm.
And for them, most of them are using it as everyone else is, emails, etc. Learned the other day though that one of the CMSs now has an AI that interacts with the Google AI. And so those with active Google profiles actually are now connected with that CMS. And so just being aware of what is going on is helping them do more and better business.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Of course, that makes sense. And then as far as finding their voice using AI, so tell us where that takes you when I say that.
For me, that's the human. Like AI
Okay.
is just a tool. Like
Yeah.
that's what I say to everyone. It's just a tool. It helps bring out what you
The
put into it. So if you
yes.
put garbage into it, you're going to get garbage out.
Yes,
So
yes.
it needs to learn who you are, what's important to you. Don't
Yeah.
take the first thing, iterate.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yes.
and I do sort of warn them that it might save them some time, but they're gonna have to invest time in training the AI, choosing which one's right for them, and so it's just a back and forth.
Yeah, it's very true. I'm always constantly editing for sure, and
Yeah.
tweaking whatever responses. I'll take two titles and I'll say merge these two and make sure that again it's SEO optimized, or
Yep,
things of that nature, for
yep,
sure.
or
So go ahead.
no,
Yeah.
I was gonna say the funny thing is what I've noticed, lately, the word "actually." AI is stuck on the word "actually."
Yes.
"Actually this, actually that." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." It's so funny. So I feel like we're moving past the whole M dash controversy, and now we're up and started an actually controversy.
That's hilarious. Yeah, lately I have been testing what's called when it's done providing you its positive outcomes.
Yes.
I go pre-mortem this, and
Mm,
so it flips it on upside on its head, reverse engineers it, and just basically tells you where you're gonna have serious cracks, holes, or things to
yep.
prepare for.
Love that.
So you have your plan A, B's, and C's. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
Yeah, and I also love not that we would ever steal anything, but those ideas that we see out there that we love, I'm like, "How
yeah,
do I do something like this?" And basically, kinda like you're saying, reverse engineer it to
yes.
get an idea and apply it, and how do we use these
Don't fix something that's not broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just continuity and consistency for those, for that
Yeah.
particular brand. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think, the other thing is to realize that again, it's just a tool, but where I'm going with it this time is that, I really do want humans. And I think, the other thing that I have said is that I'm hopeful that because we're so technology based right now, that it's actually going to, actually,
Yeah.
it's going to force us to be more human, to connect
Yes.
with more humans. I do see my nieces, those around me here, like, I'm done with computers. I just want to go meet someone at a coffee shop. I wanna
Yeah.
go hang out at the mall. Not me, but my nieces.
Yeah.
And I like that, I'm seeing more in-person networking again. I'm seeing less Zoom.
Well, that's how I created Plunge Into Prosperity in the first place, was in-person events around the US.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
I
And
love
then,
it.
but then it gets a little tiring going from city to city,
Yeah,
back to back. So I was like, let me start this pod and bring more women to the table for sure.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think wonderful. I really love what you're doing. It's
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Mhm.
And I've been seeing a lot of the use of AI. Sorry, we keep staying on this topic, but it was one last one. The use of AI in building investment scenarios or investment tools and things of this nature. Have you played around with that at all?
I haven't. I have played around a little bit with finances and planning but not with investments.
Yep.
Believe it or not, my mom was getting into that. And in fact, you reminded me, I haven't had a conversation with her on that in ages, and I should, because
Yeah.
she was in an investment club or something where they were learning about using AI to improve their portfolios, et cetera. And
Yes.
that's fabulous. I'm going to give her a call because I totally forgot about that until we
Yeah,
just said,
let me know for sure. I'd love to
yeah,
hear about it on the backside for sure.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah.
And then, so your mother enjoys investing. Is that what I'm hearing?
She does. She really wants to learn more. I truly am blessed. My parents are two of my best friends. They are incredible humans. My dad just turned 80, my mom's 78, and what I love about it is they're constantly learning.
I
They're
love this.
constantly like, I can't do this anymore, but let's try this." And my mom has always wanted to get into investing. So she signed up for a course or got into a club or something. I can't 100% remember, but I do remember having a conversation with her about how they were looking at AI and
Yeah.
investing. So I thought that,
We should both get you on to a webinar with Seiko Sisters because
that would be wonderful. Yeah,
there's roughly we have 17 women who are investing together collectively, and
I love
then
it.
there's
Right?
roughly 200 Sacral Sisters in our community where it's not just about investing, it's also about educating each other
Yes.
on diversifying. It's educating each other on how money mindset, marketing money mindset, right?
Yep.
And also spiritual, providing each other different new tools and way to see things in the world, and we're just there for each other. One of my sacral sisters, she needed to restructure her trust, and we just happened to have a trust attorney, another sacral sister. And so they got to doing business together, and it's just beautiful. It's just a little ecosystem symbiosis, supportive community. I can't, yeah, I would love to have you both on.
I
I,
love it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Well,
sure your mother is as bubbly as you, and that's exciting.
she's adorable. She really is adorable. I think she hates when I call her that, but she's adorable. Such a good human.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. A lot. I would love that. That sounds wonderful. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting how I truly do believe if women could come together and work together rather than, other, there are some other stereotypes that happen,
Yes.
but when we work together, I truly believe we can move the
Oh,
world.
I just got goosebumps on my cheeks. I've been having the most magical experience ever since I created these communities. Like, I just even if I'm not with the women, I just know that I could feel supported. Like the other day, one of the women is throwing a little summer solstice event at her home because she has a beautiful garden outside, and she's like, "Hey, can you send this flyer to the sisters?" Yes, of course. And then we're just getting lots of love, hearts. I'm there. I'm putting in my calendar. We live such busy lives that even though we might not communicate every day,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
we know that there's that support. Like, I need to have a little gathering of even it's men too, by the way,
Yeah.
but I'm not super feminist or anything. But I don't know if you know this, 2.3% of all money raised and allocated, that was a few years ago. Guess what, Heather? Since I last spoke to you, it
What was it?
dropped down to 1.1%. And that's in the past few years. It was going up and it dropped. And I was like, what is going on? So, and I'm at this intersection. We use that word
Yep.
too, actually. So I'm at the intersection of this whole, part of investing and raising capital. But then it's like very heavily women related. And I'm investing in only women led companies, not women founded because it kind of reduces, but as long as there's woman leading, on the team, we're generating 78 cents for every dollar invested. Men are if it's all male led team. Sorry guys, but you guys are only
I know.
doing 31 cents back.
It is fascinating. Like that, I have seen or heard similar statistics before, and I'm like, why is this not making more news? Like, this seems to me like, hello?
Yeah, and it's just the big 5 investment firms control 40% of the investments, and men are just humans. We talked about change earlier and AI using and people getting uncomfortable, feeling like they have to make a change in the way they do their business. It's same. Most humans don't like change. It's just
Right.
a thing. But then you go a step deeper in, and men don't like change, and they're just used to doing deals with their buddies, and
Yep.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, but it's really discerning when that's it should actually be illegal that you are choosing to not to invest in the company because your subconscious doesn't feel safe.
Yeah. No, it is really fascinating. I kind of similarly, a couple years ago, one of the things that really was supportive, I found a group here in Chantilly, Virginia, or in the area that's called the CEO Sisterhood. And
Ah,
basically all of the women in the organization all run their own businesses. They're all in charge of their freedom, etc.
I
And I
love this.
think it really has been impactful to see women succeeding and helping each other, and really it has made a huge difference in my life.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Maybe you'll have a second community now too.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
lovely. You can't have
Can't
enough support. Yeah.
definitely not.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start wrapping up here. Before I let you go, I always want to make sure that for the women listening specifically, they know exactly where to find you, how to work with you. If someone is listening right now and thinking, "I need Heather in my corner," where do
What?
they go? What is the best first step?
Drop me an email. I know everyone's texting these days, but I'm much better with email.
Well, we don't want to blast your phone number online right now, so that's good. I'm glad you prefer email. You'll be getting a lot of dates. Are you married? I'm sorry.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But there is some freedom in where I'm at right now.
Oh, yes, I know. You don't have to tell me twice.
Yes.
I keep my man in New York.
Perfect.
I enjoy Puerto Rico.
That would be perfect for me.
Exact.
Absolutely perfect.
It is. It's perfect for us. Yeah. So
Good.
what is your email? Spell it out in letters.
Sorry. It's
Yeah,
Heather.
don't be sorry.
Heather, Heather at sandboxcom.com, and it's sandboxco.com. Yeah.
Beautiful,
And
beautiful.
can I say one other thing?
Yes.
You don't have to reach out because you need business, but I really am very passionate about supporting and helping people. So if you ever just have a question, please feel free to reach out. I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
in your corner.
Yeah, just like I I find that it's, the referrals lead to more referrals as well because
Yeah.
not everyone's the right fit or they just want to make sure that they're navigating in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, it is really important to me that I'm 100% honest with my clients,
Yeah.
and if I'm not the right person, let's find the right person, That's anyway.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Heather. Thank you. There is something so powerful about the reminder that visibility is not luck, it is a craft, and that you can build a business that is both rigorous and joyful, but strategic and deeply human. Thank you for plunging into prosperity with me and Heather today. To everyone listening, if this episode moves something in you, share it, leave a review, tag the woman in your life who needs to hear this conversation, and come find us at plungeintoprosperity.com and sacralcapital.com, sandboxcom.com. There's so much more waiting for you there. Until the next plunge, I'm Brandi Kolosky, and this is Plunge into Prosperity. Have a prosperous rest of your week, everyone.
Thanks for plunging into sacred wisdom and regenerative wealth with us. If your soul and your portfolio just got a glow up, hit subscribe on YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, and Apple. Share it with your crew. Tag us on social and join the movement at plungeintoprosperity.com. I'm Brandi Kolosky. Catch you on the next plunge.